Let's get to it, everyone. Let's get talking with our first guest on the program. He's the Chief Whip of the Senate and a former governor of Abia State, Senator Orji Kalu. He joins us from Igwere in Abia State. Thank you so much, Your Excellency, for joining us tonight. Let's begin the conversation. It's a final week, a few days before the election, and one is wondering how this will shape up. Where does this leave your party, especially your candidate? There was an emergency meeting of your governors and the NWC. If you hear what your opposition, your opponents are saying, it does look from their own reading that your party is in a panic mode.
Thank you, Sean, for having me. We are not in any panic mood. We are on track. It's always like this. We have a very strong opposition party, the PDP, and we will overcome. We are ready for the election. Tinubu remains the best candidate for the presidency in 2023. So whatever they are saying doesn't perturb us. We are just watching because we are a very calculative party. There's unity in the party. We are not perturbed about what anybody says. We are on track to continue to do the next 16 years of presidency.
So let me ask you, with that meeting yesterday and the ongoings in your political party, for example, the question is that there are policy from your party and those who have opposed the same policy from your party. Is it a situation of a house divided against itself?
No. But Sean, you know me better. I can always say the truth. And the truth is that if I am president of Nigeria, I will obey the Supreme Court. Because the Supreme Court, if I am in position of the president today, the Supreme Court is the highest court of the land, whether they are wrong or they are right. And after listening to the Supreme Court and obeying them, I will ask my Attorney General to go for review. And when I was governor, I've told you this story before, Oboya Road is still at the same situation in Aba. I'm talking to you from Igwere in Abia State. The Oboya Road, I had a court that stopped me not to build the underground water to the water side. And the court is the Oboya Road from Ariaria to Koleta Port Harcourt Road into Oboya Road. It's still the same way. I obeyed the court order, and my subsequent people didn't touch that project. And the people suffering are the masses. So if I'm a president of Nigeria, I will rather obey the court of competent jurisdiction. And the court of competent jurisdiction is the final court of the land. I've always said it. If we are distorted with a magistrate court, we go to a high court. If we are distorted with a high court, we go to court of appeal. If we are distorted with the court of appeal, we go to Supreme Court. And I expected that whoever that has advised the president of Nigeria, who had done so much for the Southeast, for him to obey the Supreme Court. If I'm in that position, Sean, I will obey the Supreme Court because it's the court of the land.
It does look like the president got an advice, and maybe it was a legal advice or whatever kind of advice that he got. He made a decision on a particular intention, and he stated that intention. Now the question is, that does not sit down well with leaders of your party and the governors of your party, and they have spoken openly. In fact, some of the governors had asked that the citizens in their state should disobey those directives coming from the president. So that's why I asked the question earlier, that is it that your party is unable to harmonize, to sit down on one table? Is there some kind of disunity? Since you said that you're going to say the truth tonight on the program, what is going on in your party?
There is nothing going on in our party. The unity of our party is intact. We're only talking about the partial obeying of Supreme Court judgment. There's no problem in our party. These governors are in bed with the president, and the president have done so well for the country. And the only way we're having internal wrangle is obeying the Supreme Court judgments. For me, the judiciary is final. I have served in the executive before, and I'm serving in the legislature now, and I can never serve in the judiciary. For me, the judiciary is the finality of the law. And if I'm in the position of the president, I will obey the Supreme Court judgment.
Now, we're going into this election, and with all of this policy, do you imagine, or do you also hold the belief that this could have, the policy could have an impact on the chances of your candidate?
No, because Tinubu is Tinubu, and whoever made the policy is what is, and there's no policy about anything because the Supreme Court have already ruled. And for us, me, the national chairman of the party, who was also my colleague as governor, we are on the same page. We believe that if I'm in the position of the president, I will obey the Supreme Court law. So we have no wangling. We are larger in number, we are bigger in atmosphere, and we are going to win the election. Tinubu is the next president and commander-in-chief of Nigeria.
What gives you this confidence, Senator Kalu?
What gives me the confidence about the membership of our party? We have huge followers. We also have huge support from Nigerian people. So this is what gives me the confidence. I'm a politician. And when I speak to you, I speak to you as a very successful businessman, as a man who employs over 13,000 Nigerians in my payroll, and I speak to you not as a man that is frivolous. I'm talking to you as a man who is an employer of labor. These people will vote. Tinubu have done very well in Lagos. He was my colleague as governor. And you can see the atmosphere, what he put up in Lagos State. So I believe that the APC on the 25th, 27th, after those counting of the vote, Tinubu will be the next president and commander-in-chief of armed forces. That is what we expect to see.
Before the primaries, you did not support Bola Tinubu. And so a lot of people in your party who supported other persons other than Bola Tinubu. And for those in your party who think that some of the issues that are in the fall or that are coming up they are post-primary issues. Those who are aggrieved that their candidates did not get a ticket. Do you imagine or do you suspect that that could be the situation?
Well, let me tell you, I supported my roommate in the university, Senator Ahmed Lawal, the Senate President, His Excellency the Senate President, and I have no regret of doing that. I'm a party man. And once Tinubu appeared as the presidential candidate, the next 3 days he visited me and we discussed. And Ahmed Lawal, Senator Ahmed Lawal group are supporting Tinubu fully. You can see Ahmed Lawal in every rally Senator Ahmed Tinubu have gone to. We decided in that group that we must support Governor Ahmed Tinubu because he is the candidate of the party. We are party people. We are not frivolous. We support our party, and our party is supreme. Once the party is supreme, the chairman of the party, Senator Adamu Abdullahi, spoke to us after the primaries. Anybody who is not supporting Tinubu is not a good player. Must you not play football the next day because your team loses?
Who are these people that are not supporting Tinubu in your party?
I don't know. It's you that said that. I don't know. But I know that all of us are supporting him. I'm supporting him. After the nomination of Tinubu, the next 4 days, I visited him. The next 1 week, I visited with Tinubu to my mother, and I visited both other people, party leaders with Tinubu, and reassure him. And Senator Ahmed Lawal, Tinubu visited Senator Ahmed Lawal, and we all agree that is our presidential candidate. That is the issue. We are not frivolous, and we are not going to succumb to blackmail. All I know, I'm a party man. Tinubu is the presidential candidate of APC, and I support the party to my life.
I want us to wrap up on this very particular point so that we can move to other issues. There are those who believe that there are elements in your party who are working against the chances of your presidential candidate Bola Tinubu. Who are these elements? And
it's you that would. You are the journalist, Chong.
Yeah, that's why I'm asking the question. I'm the journalist.
I don't know.
You are the politician. You are a chieftain of your party. You are a leader in your party. You just mentioned, just a moment, sir. You have mentioned that for those who do not support Bola Tinubu, they are not good party people. And I'm wondering who these people are.
No, information. You told me that some people who are not supporting. I said, whoever at this stage who is not supporting our presidential candidate. The party is not about Tinubu. The party is not owned by Tinubu. The party is our party. And we ought to support him. We owe him a duty. I could have been the presidential candidate. Abelawa could have been the presidential candidate. Abechi could have been the presidential candidate. Our duty, or the vice president, could have been the presidential candidate. God in his mercies are giving it to Tinubu, and we cannot question the decision of God. And that is why we are supporting him. So
let me ask you this. You've been in the political scene for a long time. Since you are way younger than this as a governor. You are one of the youngest governors in the early 2000s. So you would be able to reckon with these inference that I'm making. There is a politician who is of the belief that since about the Second Republic or even the First Republic, there hasn't been any time in our political history that two southern candidates will emerge and win the election. That is always very difficult when you have more than two southern candidates against a strong northern candidate and they are successful, that there is always a problem. What do you see with this pattern or this trend?
No, I see nothing because they know Buhari is from the north, and the question of our party is that the presidency should rotate between the north and the south. And they know that the whole northern governors from our party, the whole people in our party are supporting Tinubu. And this is why that even when we said that Lawan should be the candidate, and the governors derail it to make Tinubu the candidate. And we accepted that, and that's the best thing to go. We support our party because our policy of party on rotation, north and south. It will be very unfortunate if anybody think that we will rotate north to north. It's not going to be possible. You are talking about Nigeria. This is not a small republic. This is a republic that have 200 million people. This is a republic that have the easterners and the westerners in cooperation of the northerners. So it's not unthinkable. You are not even telling me what can be in my brain, because all the northern governors of our party, all the senior members of our party, including the president himself, agree that the power should shift to the south.
So if you look at what is happening in the country today, since you are in your hometown of Igbere, you perhaps will have seen and met with people, average people, who have joined those who complain on the issue of the Naira note and the scarcity. There was some kind of scarcity of petrol also in many parts of the country. And this kind of agitation has gotten to a head where you see people burning banks, attacking ATM machines, and going on rampage, going on the street in protest. There is anger in the minds and on the lips of so many Nigerians. And we're going into the polls. And under the APC government, what impact do you think this could be on the perception of your political party that is a party that is in power?
It's very unfortunate what is happening, and it's not the fault of every party people. I'm suffering the same fate. Here in Igbere, people cannot find money. Do you know, when I go out in campaign, I used to dance the drummers. about 50,000, 100,000. Now I cannot dash them 1,000 naira, but I don't have it. So it is a process that if the central bank and the federal government have taken into consideration, this is not the best time to have done it. Remember, I sat in the Senate and I opposed that this should be extended to 31st of April, after my birthday on 21st of April. So to me, you can see it's a policy, it's a good thing. The policy is right, but I don't keep money in my house. I'm suffering. The other day, my house manager told my wife in Abuja that we have no money to cook food. My wife was virtually rolling around where we feed over 250 people in this camp every day. So I don't know, it's a problem to me, and it's a problem to everybody. So this is why that if I'm in position of Mr. President, as I've told you before, I will listen to the Supreme Court judgment. The Supreme Court, to me, whether they are right or wrong, Mr. President should obey the law and ask his Attorney General to put a review to the Supreme Court.
Your Excellency, you did not quite answer my question, and I'm saying you said you are suffering a similar thing that some Nigerians are suffering in the event of the scarcity of the Naira notes. And I'm saying that going into an election and your party is on the ballot, what impact could that have? Or what would you be telling Nigerians that will be making a choice on which party to vote for, and your party that is in power is made this policy that you say that you have also suffered from?
Well, President Buhari is not running for re-election. There are two differences between President Muhammad Buhari and incoming President and Commander-in-Chief Ahmed Bola Tinubu. So I'm telling Nigerians to be patient. If the policy is not going very well with Nigerians, President Tinubu, when elected, will be able to look at it. But I think that most of what is happening now has happened, and Nigerians should be just patient for the next few days.
We're due for a break, but more questions for you after the break. But before we go, quickly, let me get your view. You told us that it does make sense for power to rotate to the south, but you told us that you supported Ahmed Lawan. If you believe in power rotation, why did you then support Ahmed Lawan?
Well, I supported Ahmed Lawan because then I thought that the North and the South have agreed to power to go to South, Northwest, Northeast. But it's a thing of the past, but the party have made their decision. I have no regret of what the party have done. The party is supreme, and the supremacy of the party is what kept me as a chief whip. The supremacy of the party is what gave me back my ticket as a senator. So the party is supreme. You don't need to question me, because my party have made a decision, and I'm an obedient party man. If I'm very obedient to my party, and the supremacy of the party comes on.
I'm only asking you because you have defended the power rotation to the south, and you seem to be speaking about some level of equity.
Yeah, majority. No,
so yeah, since you're talking about equity, and that's why I'm asking you.
Listen,
if you believe in the power to the south, why then did you support the northern candidate?
No, because first of all, I supported him. He was my roommate and he's my Senate president and he's my friend. I have no regrets in supporting him. But let me tell you, but the party is supreme. The party have democratically elected Ahmed Tinubu to be the presidential candidate. And this has been my friend. He has been my friend for more than 3 decades. So I have no regret. I told you before, Shawu, on this program, that my children lives, 2 of my children, Naira and Zina, lives with Oluremi Tinubu in Marina House for over 3 years, where they are going to school in the French International School. When I relocated with my wife to Abia State to be governor, nobody was in our delicate home. These children with their nanny back to live in Marina government house. So I don't hold any grudges against Tinubu. I don't talk about Tinubu. I have no grudges. I promised Tinubu I will never run for president. And I did not run. That does not mean I cannot support. And now he got the ticket. I am the biggest supporter here in Abia State and in entire Nigeria. So for me, it's about destiny. It's his destiny to go now. It's his own Ebileko. And in Ebileko, one day it will be a Shetima's Ebileko. It might be another person's Ebileko, me Ebileko. So don't question me. I'm a party man and I support the decision of my party. I have no problem with the decision of my party.
Right. It's a difficult thing that you're asking me not to do. I'm being trained to ask the questions. No. I'm just saying that when you say I should not question, that is what I do for a living. But we are due for a break, Senator.
I'm asking you to what I do for a living. I'm a businessman. I'm an entrepreneur. I'm not a politician. So I don't know how to lie. And I've told you the best truth.
All right. We'll take a break, and when we come back, more questions for you. Does your candidate stand a chance with what we've seen in the past days, and comparing some of the polls that have emerged? Where does this leave Bola Tinubu, the presidential candidate of the APC? Our conversation with Senator Orji Kalu continues after this break. Join us again, everyone. Thank you so much, everyone. Senator Orji Kalu, former governor of Abia State and Senate Chief Whip, has been speaking with us from his hometown in Igbere in Abia State. Thank you so much, Your Excellency, for talking to us tonight. Let's get back to the conversation. And the question I'd like to ask you is this. You have an Atiku Abubakar of the PDP, you have a Peter Obi of the Labour Party, and Robbie Musa Kwankwaso of the NNPP. We're getting closer to the election. There are other, 17 candidates aside your candidate, and I've mentioned 3 other people that have been identified as frontline along Bola Tinubu, your party candidate. And those who believe within these political parties I mentioned that, in fact, the chances of your party APC is less now that Buhari is not on the ballot, and that most of the state that your party controls will be lost to the opposition. But you have been so confident on the program tonight that Bola Tinubu will win. Empirically and scientifically, what can you tell us to back up your confidence tonight?
Well, it's very simple, Sean. Scientifically, we are more in number. Demographically, we're also more in the demographic of the country where APC belongs to. And it's not a matter of polls. These polls don't work here because some of these polls are biased. And Tinubu is a front runner. Tinubu is well liked by the North and is from the Southwest, and is going to get a meaningful vote in Imo, Ebonyi, Abia, Anambra, and Enugu, and is going to be having the support of Governor Wike of Rivers State. So we're on track, and my governor here, Okezi Ikpeazu, will also support Tinubu. So my senatorial district is going to give Tinubu the vote, the puncher, to give the 34-35% to be on ballot.
No, these are probably conjectures. So let's take it.
No. You are trying to say I'm a native doctor. I'm not one. Please.
I never said that.
I'm a committed Christian of Catholic faith.
No, I said conjecture. I never said
no,
that.
No, conjecture means I'm conjuring something.
I didn't say you are conjuring. I said conjectures. So the point I'm making is that I wanted you to be able to tell us, because you are a politician, and you should be able to, for example, you're on the ballot for the senatorial election in your state. You should be able to tell us, for example, this is the number of states Bola Tinubu will win, and why? And this is the question that I'm asking.
No, I can tell
why
you the number of states right away.
Why do you think the people in the Southeast, for example, would vote for Bola Tinubu?
No, Tinubu will be winning because they know that Tinubu's presidents will also help us to have a stepping stone to have a free market. So people of Southeast will vote for Tinubu. Don't be perturbed about what is happening here, where let everybody vote according to his conscience. Tinubu is a very good administrator. He can delegate the job. He can also, he lives in the headquarters of the entrepreneurs where I live in Lagos. So all of us, all the presidential candidates live in Lagos. So we all live there. We are businessmen there. And Tinubu lived at the middle of the entrepreneurs of Nigeria. So he's going to have a partnership between the private sector and the government, which is very much not seen today. So Tinubu will be a man of tomorrow, like he was in Lagos, like he did some good things for planning. And G5 governors are also going to be a very big factor. And mind you, the 21 or 22 governors of APC are ready to support Tinubu. They brought him in the convention. You know, there was a ballot. Tinubu didn't come from back of the yard to be the presidential candidate of APC. Yeah. He came by through ballot by the delegates of APC. So he's the candidate of APC. He will be supported by APC people to show that he's truly the candidate of APC. He didn't come. He was not nominated by anybody. He was not said by anybody. He was democratically elected by our convention. So the majority of party delegates voted for Tinubu.
So let me ask you, perhaps a good way to wrap this up is that there are those who believe that this election will bring with it a lot of shocker. There will be surprises. And there will be a lot of young people that will vote this time around. What if this election does not go in the way of your party? What would that look like, and what will be the implication?
We will accept it as democracy, but I want to assure you, Shawu, our party is very firm on the ground, and our party will win the election. Tinubu is the next president and commander-in-chief. I can bet you with, I don't like to bet. I've never done pulling bet or anything, but Shawu, hold me by my words. I'll come back to this program in the next 1 or 2 weeks to tell you that I told you Tinubu will win on the first ballot, and I'm happy that EU have sent a very credible man who will speak the truth, President Thabo Mbeki, who will be able to tell people the way the election is.
Senator Orji Kalu is the Senate Chief Whip and a former governor of Abia State. Thank you so much indeed. We'll get back to you after the election. If your permutation, you are also running for election in your senatorial district. I wish that the best man win in that election. All the best. Thank you so much.
There's no best man than me, Shaw. I'm the best man, and I'm winning the election.
The people in your senatorial district will decide that.
No, there are no two candidates here, Shaw. There are only one candidate here, and it's me.
Yeah, I understand that your brother too is running to be governor in your state. It does look to me that a lot of Kalus want to be governor in Abia State. But I mean, these are interesting period. Thank you so much indeed.
Well, if my brother is the best candidate for his party, I don't know, but if Abia people trust my brother, they vote for him or vote for my party. I'm indifferent about that.
You are torn between your party and your brother, blood and party. Thank you so much, Senator Kalu. I appreciate your time.
If you are an honest man.
Well, because I'm not a politician, I may not be able to say. But when it comes to...
you must answer.
So, no. Because I don't answer questions, I ask them. On this program, the interest of the people comes first for me. Thank you so much,
Senator.
Senator.
What is the interest of people? Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.